All right, so let's talk about the components of a pen test. Internal, external network infrastructure, right? We want to know what's there. Then wireless, which could be part of the number one, right? It's a subset or part of, or it's completely separate, but you can do an entire attack against wireless, right? You want to do a wireless pen test, well, and you get out Aircrack NG and go to town. Web applications, right? Here we're talking about the things, the applications that run on pretty much everything nowadays, from printers to cameras to Microsoft devices, right? The point is understanding the applications, whether we intend to use those applications or not. Are they there? What they're vulnerable to? Moving into mobile applications, right? Yes, we've added a bunch of mobile devices, whether it's an iPad or a tablet or a phone, right? And then we allow them to connect up to our networks, whether or not they were pre-hacked. Social engineering, we can tell them how to get in. This is an interesting one here. Internal users are our biggest threats. 98% of attacks rely on social engineering. 98%. Why? Because we make it easy.
Would you agree with that one, Ron?
So yeah, we've talked about this before. Social engineering is, in my opinion, the way to go as a hacker, mostly because it preys on the following fact about people. People are nice. People want to help you. If you ask for a favor, people want to say yes, most of us. As a result, it's very easy to ask for a favor and people want to say, sure, let me help you out. And in the process, you can usually get information that you need. One of my standard things when delivering the cyber hygiene training, people always say, how did they get my information? And then I ask them, yeah, how many of those Facebook polls have you done recently?
Right? And did they ask your mother's maiden name and your birth date? Oh, I'm sorry, they didn't even have to ask because it's already on your Facebook page, right? They get all that information.
Or one of them that I really loved is we can guess your age, or we can guess the state you live in by, and it had a bunch of questions. Well, the thing is that it only gets forwarded if it's correct. So you look at who forwards it and you know it got it right.
Yeah.
It can be a random answer.
Right. And they're also going to go after your hobbies, folks. They don't have to stop with it anywhere. They can then get you interested and then send you an email about, I don't know, stamp collecting, because you happen to like stamp collecting. And then they can set up a web page that you go to that gives you access or gives them access to your system. So it works, unfortunately. So this is where training comes in. We can reduce the risk 40% just by training. But in a pen test, it's fair game, unless you say it's not fair game to begin with, right?
Yeah, since you called out the stamp collecting one, that's from a story from when I was in offensive security. One of the members in the lab that I worked with had a story where on one of his engagements, he found out that one of the key employees he was targeting for social engineering attacks during a pen test engagement really liked to collect stamps. And he knew when his hours were, because he had done the information gathering phase, and he knew when, he generally was at his computer between hours 1 and 3 p.m. And that was his habit. And he tended to take his lunch there and do, on his break, use the work computer. And so he sent him an email about, hey, I have this, I heard you like stamps, and I have this stamp collection. I have this website. If you want to check it out, I'm trying to get rid of my grandfather's stamps and I want to sell it for cheap. Check out my website. I have it posted. And he sent him the link. And it was a really good targeted spear phishing attack because he knew he would be sitting at his computer. And sure enough, he went to the website during his lunchtime on the work computer and immediately got owned because he visited that malicious site.
Yeah, and the
site even had stamps on it.
Yeah,
he went the extra mile.
Didn't just have a skull and crossbones and you've now been hacked.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, that's a good one. And there are plenty of those out there. Old favorite used to be just to throw down some USB drives in a parking lot. Well, that counts, folks. They will plug them in unless we train them not to. So really important stuff to know. Build and configuration review. Well, yeah, they're going to test our builds. They're going to find those XP systems or the Windows 2000, whatever we have that hasn't been patched. It can't